Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the Coach Shinnick Show. This is head coach Pete Shinnick, football coach at the University of West Florida. I'm Will Kennedy, and we are here to break down the latest game, which is another win. We'll let them in on a secret. Talk about next week's game, also dive into the other fall sports here at the University of West Florida. Coach, road trip this week. We talked about it last week at West Georgia. And a big conference game, two teams that were ranked high to start the season, had a little bit of a hiccup early on, and it was going to be a payoff game. You guys walk out with the victory. It's got to feel good. And a weird side note, no one has ever won at home in this series, and that continues, seven straight games.
Yeah, we'll break that next year, make that
priority,
exactly, going into it. No, really, really proud of our guys. I mean, just the way they played. Traveling's never easy. Playing at their place is never easy. You know, I don't think they've lost 2 in a row in the Gulf South Conference for like 10 years or something like that. They've found a way to always bounce back after a conference loss. So to come in, they lose to Mississippi College. They know they're a little, on edge. To have our guys answer the way we do, and really probably to see our defense play as well as they've had in the last couple weeks. That was very exciting to see. Winning the field position battle, creating turnovers at opportune times, and getting done what we needed to.
This one was, kind of a weird start time, a little bit, earlier in the evening, but the weather was fantastic. And it was very similar, as we dive into some of the highlights, to the North Greenville game here, in that the first half was a little disjointed, a little slow. You guys got the football, 3 and out, wasn't the start you wanted. And then they go on that long drive, just like North Greenville, 15 plays down the field and score a touchdown. But what you guys have done so well this year is answer every time somebody scores. They score, you get the football back, and you go the other way. C.J. Wilson caps off a nice long drive for your offense.
Yeah, I feel great about that. Their first drive, again, very similar to North Greenville. We had a penalty on 4th down that allowed that drive to continue. And we've got to eliminate that. We've got to put ourselves in a much better situation. I think we were playing really good defense. We were in a good spot. And then offensively, again, the 3 and out, frustrating. We have been pretty good about starting off, finding our rhythm, that type of thing. Taking us a little longer, but then great answer on the second drive to even things up.
Kind of goes back and forth a little bit. They start the second quarter, get another touchdown, take a 14-7 lead. Nothing for a while. You guys get the ball back late in the first half, just like North Greenville. You drive down the field. Pee Wee's able to cap off a touchdown drive. He didn't have a great first half. That touchdown, I think, running it in there, kind of maybe spurred him on and took him into the second half when he played much better. But you got to feel pretty good, and you told us that on the radio, going in 14 and a half, that it felt like you could have been down by 2 touchdowns.
Well, easily could have been down. Credit to our defense for just putting us in the right position, right time. Offensively, again, we turned the ball over in the red zone with an interception. We fumbled right at the red zone on a scramble on a 1st and 10 play. And then, credit West Georgia. I thought they played very good defense. I thought they did some nice things. They made some really nice adjustments. But our defense answered. Kept answering, kept getting their offense, which I think their quarterback playing as well as anybody in the conference. Get him out of rhythm. That was one thing that we wanted to do, get him off the field. We did that. And then when we were able to get the ball back, that was a great drive, and Pee Wee sticks the ball in the end zone. So as we say, 14-14 at halftime was huge for us.
You touched on something right there. Harrison Frost threw a lot of passes, 50-plus passes in the game. Jackson Carson, the running back, ran 30 times. But if you look at the yards per play, they ran 91 plays total in the game. Your defense did a really nice job of not giving up the big play, which has been kind of an Achilles heel.
No, that was huge. And we've seen explosive plays, as our defense calls them, too many of them that we want to have happen, and we really limited those and kept them in a lot of 3rd down situations. And again, I thought we were much better getting them off the field. And so to make them drive, force them to have to be perfect, they weren't. Our defense was where it needed to be.
Coach, I thought Ravion Hargrove had a really great first half, in the first half where Pee Wee was struggling and Shamari wasn't his normal dynamic self.
Sure. No, really love what those two really, going back and forth. I think we've got an amazing 1-2 punch. You throw C.J. Wilson into the mix, and we've got really, I think, everything that we need in the backfield. And really proud of Ravion for just always coming in, making electric plays, making dynamic plays. I think he's averaging over 10 yards a carry the last couple games. So really excited about him and what he brings to the offense.
So you had your typical patented Coach Shinnick fiery halftime speech ready to go for them. No, I know that's a frustrating half in many senses. You touched on it, especially the turnovers in the red zone, and that's points on the board that you don't get. But Pee Wee Jarrett, he struggled really in that first half, but I know he's that kind of guy that He wants to succeed. He wants to be great. Kind of you put an arm around him and just say, hey, don't worry about it, second half.
I think really, and credit our guys too, because I think our guys are like, hey man, it'll come. Just keep doing it. Let's go. There wasn't any anxiety in the locker room. There wasn't any, oh my gosh, or hey, pointing the finger or anything like that. Again, I think this team, we talked about it last week, has great grit, great character to just be able to stay in games and trust each other that a big play is going to happen. I think Pee Wee just internalized that and said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go out and play better. And he did. And he played much better. And really, we became an offense that I think scored 4 out of the 5 times we had it right there. So I think that's what we're really capable of. Not that that's every game, but I think that was tremendous focus, great, drive by our guys to just stay on the field and keep getting after it.
14-14 at the half. There was a lot of football to play, and there we were, as it works out. Even again, with 30 minutes of football to play, we'll dive into the second half next on the Coach Shinnick Show.
Real change occurs in that split second, a moment of connection among people.
With a common purpose,
a shared vision,
and a unified goal. What will you change?
What will change you? The University of West Florida. No limits.
Groundbreaking orthopedic care is more than top-rated quality scores, more than leading-edge treatment options, more than world-class care close to home. It's all that and more. Andrews Institute. Groundbreaking care.
can health insurance help cure loneliness? Can it take care of your best friend too? Or hold your hand for 9 months? Can it be there for you at 3 a.m.? Or inspire you to go the extra mile? We think so, which is why every day we ask ourselves, what else can health insurance do? Come find out.
What does Argo Spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/aboutus.
Welcome back into the Coach Shinnick Show. Coach Shinnick with us, and we'll pick up half number 2, tied 14-14 at the break. You guys come out of the locker room. I know you like to have that football, but you didn't win the coin toss, so West Georgia's getting the ball coming out. It could set up well for them, and things can change on a dime in a football game, especially one like this with two good football teams. And that's what happened here as we look at the second half highlights. You guys, Harrison Frost hadn't been sacked, I think, all year long, and you get him a couple plays into the second half. It's a fumble. You guys are on it, and all of a sudden you're in business. Yeah. And not just that, it didn't take long. One play, and there's Shamari Mason popping up. He breaks a 22-yarder doing the things that he does so well, and all of a sudden, momentum's changed.
It really had. Gael had a great rush. We occupied the other side, so he ran free around the edge, had the strip sack. That was huge, be able to get the turnover right there. Credit Caden Williams, again, amazing, job as a freshman kicking because he pinned him deep, a ball at the 22-yard line, wherever it was, somewhere in that area. And then Shamari, great play design. Our offensive staff, Coach Carlton said, hey, I think we can run outside zone out of our 3-by-1 set, the way they line up. There was not a guy close to Shamari Mason on that run. Our O-line and tight ends, Mav did a fantastic job just securing that. Shamari runs free, and then we feel like, okay, that's the break that we needed. That's what we were looking for.
They took their turn to answer, and you mentioned it, making them go the length of the field and drive. Caden pins them deep. They have to go 82 yards. They do that in 15 plays. It's a lot of pressure on an offense, and Frost was good on that drive. Carson was good on that drive. They tie you up at 21, and you got to be thinking, man, we had everything for a second there, and it went right back the other way.
No, you are, but at the same time, they had a couple of third down conversions. I think we had a penalty in there, too, that we helped them. So from my standpoint, it's like, okay, we're making these guys drive. They can't do this all night. Little did I know we were going to be that explosive here coming up, but, we always feel like we're one play away from scoring. So I think the next drive we go 3 plays and hit Caden down the sideline.
Beautifully thrown football. You mentioned it. Pee Wee goes back on the next possession, throws a ball that the defender thinks, I got a chance to tip it, goes right over his fingers. Caden Leggett grabs it, goes 62 yards. It's a thing of beauty. And all of a sudden, there's that high power offense.
Yeah.
There's that quick strike ability that you patented a little bit.
Yeah, no, we've had that success. Whether it, and this year we probably had a few more explosive plays in the run game, but our passing game, has been explosive, and we're going to see that the rest of this half because we're going to get some great throws and great catches that really kind of ignite us and really put us in a great situation.
Forcing turnovers. We talked about the fumble at the beginning of the half. Next possession for West Georgia, Demaria Givens comes up with an INT, and all of a sudden those turnovers that were happening, your defense was forcing early in the season, they're back.
Yeah, that was a great play by Ye. He read that thing perfectly, cut that thing off. We had great coverage. We had a guy in Harrison's face, which he has not had much of that. And so I thought our D-line did a great job getting up, getting in his face, making him, move out of the pocket. Great pick, changed the game right there.
Yeah, I think Frost got tired of seeing Aiden Sweat and Will Breland and, Willie Jordan and guys like that over and over again. We got a chance on that next possession after the interception to see why David Durden is on the Senior Bowl small school watch list. We've seen him catch the ball and run away from people. He went up and made maybe the catch of the year and is able to catch the pylon on a 20-yard touchdown that's as acrobatic and athletic as you're going to see.
Well, it was, and the great part about that is he'd caught the two previous passes. You know what I mean?
That drive, he and Larry remember. Wow.
Larry had a great third down catch. David catches a first down, quick hitter. Then he catches one over the middle.
Takes a pop, gets up and lets him know I'm good.
Oh, yeah. He got up, said, hey, first down. And then Pee Wee read that perfectly. We had one-on-one coverage over there. Great fade ball. Dave went up and out-jumped the guy, brought the ball down, got his foot in bounds. Just could not be happier for him because, he's playing at a very high level. And he's really keeping this offense moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I'll have to say this. I know you'll back me up on this. We have the best photographer in the business, Morgan Givens, here at UWF. He's got a picture of that. Check it out on social media. It's on GoArgos.com for the article for the game. It's just unreal. And you can see David catching the ball, looking down at the pylon so he can get his foot in there.
Well, no, Morgan's so good. His photos make it even better. You know what I mean? How you remember it live, and then you go, oh, wait a minute. His photo's better than live.
I told him that may be better than the one-hander last year at home, but, it's just phenomenal. You guys, they come back and they're able to score. You got a 2-touchdown lead, 35-21. They get a touchdown, 5 minutes or so left, and it's an opportunity. You're thinking they're thinking if we can hold, we get the ball back, we got a chance here at the end of the game. You guys take it on a drive, and you're taking it down the field, kind of running the football, working the clock a little bit. You get a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah.
And Shamari Mason breaks another one, 21 yards this time for a touchdown. That's the kind of play that can define a season.
Well, it really is, and I'll even go back a little earlier because we had 65 yards to go. I told the guys, I said, look, we got 5 minutes to go. We got to be able to run the ball. We got to be able to get done what we need to get done. We got to secure it. We got to do it. Pee Wee had a huge 3rd down run where we got the first 3rd down, and then we came back with we had been waiting to run quarterback gap back the other way. He busts one for 22 yards down their sideline. Extremely smart, slides, stays in bounds. We keep the clock running. And then, we're third and 9, like you say, and it's like, okay, well, hey, whatever we get, then we're going to line up, kick a field goal, and get a 10-point lead. And Show goes right out the front door, O-line, tight ends, blocked it perfectly. He had to make the safety miss, which he did, bounced it to the field, and there was nobody there.
You guys were able to hold them on defense, lock up this victory, 42-28, the final score. Another win, 4-1 now in the season, 2-1 in conference play. Some interesting numbers. You ran for 199, but Pee Wee led the way. Some designed runs. He was excellent.
Yeah, no, he really did a great job. And, I think we're getting a pretty good mix of the run pass. What's going to, where do you defend us? How do you do things? We want to keep people off balance. Again, we say in our offense, we're going to take what the defense gives us. And, right now I like our balance. I like where we're at. We've got things to clean up, which, again, we've only played 5 games. We feel like we can still get better. But I'm really excited about how we were able to move the ball. I think that's a very good West Georgia defense. They held us to 40 yards rushing the year before, okay? And we threw the ball, but, also didn't get enough points last year. So to score 45 against them, to be able to do that the way we ran the ball and throw the ball, like how we threw the ball, other than the picks, feel good about what we were seeing and how we were doing it.
I'd like to nominate David Durden, number 17, for whatever GSC awards are available and open this week. He had 8 catches, 142 yards. He had a 52-yarder in there that wasn't a touchdown,
Right.
but heck of a game from Dave Durden. Heck of a win for you guys. Coach will be back in a little bit. We'll talk about shorter on the road back to Georgia next week. A little longer trip.
Yep.
And hopefully looking to pick up another win. But we've got a lot more coming your way next on the Coach Shinnick Show.
What do you expect from that first job out of college? Working your way up from the bottom? Instead, how does this sound? Starting in a guaranteed leadership position with people who look to you for guidance because you're trained to give it and make important decisions in critical situations. Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Welcome back into the Coach Shinnick Show. We got a ton of other stuff going on here at the University of West Florida with fall sports in action, and they have been fantastic. How about this? In the last about 3 weeks, UWF Athletics 14-0-3, haven't lost in 17 different competitions. It's been fantastic. The women's soccer team riding an incredible winning streak. We had a group of students, one of my classes that I teach had a chance to sit down and talk to a player, a super fascinating young lady, all the way from Tokyo, Japan, by way of North Texas. She's been an integral part of Coach Joe Bartlinski's team this season. Everybody meet Manami Okada.
I'm Manami Okada. I'm from Japan. I play midfielder on women's soccer, UWF. I've been playing more than 10 years, and I started playing soccer when I was in elementary school. Last season, I broke my ankle, and I missed like 8 games during the season, and it was really hard time to, stay positively because like I'm injured, like I can't really do anything. And it's hard, but also like at the same time I want to like support shipmates, I came here for soccer because I know that America is the strongest country in the world, and I wanted to see like the level where I am, and also I wanted to challenge myself to play here in America. And the second reason why I came here for educational, I want to be able to speak English, so like I can get job, something related with English. And I thought it would be like beneficial for me to just come here and play soccer and also learning new language and study here. And the first thing that I miss most is my family. Of course, we're living apart, and then second of all, I think it's food because first year I came here, I gained like 20 pounds because of food.
Have you ever heard of Captain Tsubasa?
Yes, yes. I actually met the one who made the Captain Tsubasa, and he was really cool. I'm Manami Okada. That's my name.
Manami and the women's soccer team swept their 2 matches over the weekend at Lee and Shorter, including a 10-0 victory over the Hawks on Sunday. They're now 11-2-1, 9-1 in conference play as they lead the way in the GSE. That was their last conference match, and it'll be time for the tournament before you know it right here. That's a look at women's soccer. We'll get into men's soccer, volleyball, cross country, swimming, women's golf, everybody doing fantastic things. The breakdown of the fall sports is up next on the Coach Shinnick Show.
I need to try it first.
The Daily Medium Sub Special is back for a limited time only from Firehouse Subs. From Meatball Monday to Italian Sunday, a delicious deal for every day of the week, always handcrafted and piled high with hearty meats and cheeses, then served on a warm toasted sub roll. Order on firehousesubs.com or on the app to have your subs boxed, bagged, and ready for pickup. And a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
Groundbreaking orthopedic care is more than top-rated quality scores, more than leading-edge treatment options, more than world-class care close to home. It's all that and more. Andrews Institute. Groundbreaking care.
Welcome back to the Coach Shinnick Show. Argo Athletics is on a roll. The UWF volleyball team did it again, putting together another perfect weekend. The Argos grabbed a pair of wins, beating Shorter 3-1 on Friday, then coming back on Saturday afternoon to top Lee in the annual Packet Pink match. The Argos raising more than $6,000 for cancer awareness and research to go with that victory.
It's just such a special day. In particular with this group, a lot of these girls are new to the program, so this was, a little bit not great out of the gate from our side of the net, but when you run a promotion like this, you run that kind of risk, and it's a risk we're willing to take. So good thing we have some veterans on our staff and some veterans on the floor that were able to kind of calm everybody down. But for sure, I love the crowd that was here. It's always special recognizing survivors and people that have lost loved ones to this disease before the match. And I think we've raised a good amount of money, and I hope the dollars keep coming in. And one of these years, I hope we're celebrating beating cancer instead of building funds to research it. But I thought our players did a nice job of not letting the moment be too big for them, and I thought we made some really nice substitutions. Lily Sumner came off the bench and was outstanding for us. We just kind of shifted players around. Jackie Martin came off the bench, same thing, outstanding. So I love the fact that we've got different options, and we utilized those options today, and they were great.
UWF is now 17-4 on the season, 9-1 in conference play, and up to 12th in the latest national rankings. Meg Bracken is the Gulf South Conference Defensive Player of the Week. The Argos compete in the GSC crossover tournament in Birmingham this weekend, facing Eckerd, Nova Southeastern, and 18th-ranked Barry. Men's soccer had a successful road trip to Tennessee and Georgia. The Argos got an early goal from Kainan dos Santos, but couldn't find a second at Lee, settling for a 1-1 draw with the Flames. UWF found plenty of goals against Shorter on Sunday. Dos Santos found the net again, and the Argos got 4 more in a 5-1 victory. UWF is now 7-2-3 overall and unbeaten in conference play at 5-0-3. The Argos are also in the national poll, ranked 21st in the new United Soccer Coaches poll, and they are back at home at the soccer complex this Saturday, hosting Spring Hill for a 6 o'clock start. Men's cross country took on a strong field in Tallahassee at the FSU Invite. Zach Fenton continued his strong season, finishing 10th overall. The women placed 17th overall in the team competition behind strong runs from Chloe Rook and Julia Alvarez Drago. Both cross-country teams wrap up the regular season schedule at the UAH Charger Invitational in Huntsville, Alabama on the 22nd. Swimming and diving back on the board and in the pool at Birmingham Southern. The Argos dominated, placing first in every event and outscoring the Panthers 233-96. UWF is back in action on the 21st at Florida State. And the women's golf team picked up another top 10 finish in the fall, placing 7th overall against some top competition at the Leanne Noble Memorial Tournament in Georgia this week. That's a look at what's going on inside UWF athletics. We're not done yet, though. We'll preview football's road trip to Shorter next on the Coach Shinnick Show.
What do you expect from that first job out of college? Working your way up from the bottom? Instead, how does this sound? Starting in a guaranteed leadership position with people who look to you for guidance because you're trained to give it and make important decisions in critical situations. Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
What does Argo Spirit look like? Is it finding the perfect Argo outfit to show your team pride? Is it giving back while getting your pre-game grub? Or is it connecting with your community in the perfect spot? At Penn Air Federal Credit Union, it's being a proud sponsor of UWF Education, the Alumni Association, athletics, Penn Air Field, and having a spirit of communerosity. Learn more at pennair.org/aboutus.
Welcome back in our final segment here on the Coach Shinnick Show. Coach Shinnick back with us to talk about the next matchup. It's a weird schedule this year where it's 2 games at home, 2 games on the road. This is the second of this particular little mini road schedule.
This is the Georgia version.
This is the Georgia version. You guys have been great on the road. Yeah, winning every game so far. This is a trip up to Rome to take on Shorter. Shorter started the season well, got 2 wins, and they've been pretty good. They've lost their last 4. It's been tough in the conference. They're 0-3, put a good Albany team in there as well. But, they're better than they've been in a while. And I know that may be hard for fans to look and say, oh, but the record says something else. More talent. They got a good quarterback and Aeneas Dennis. What do you expect from the Hawks?
Well, yeah, you mentioned they're better. They've really been in every game kind of at halftime, where they were down 28-3 or 35-3 or something like that to Valdosta a year ago. They were beating Valdosta at halftime, and Valdosta needed to score late in order to beat Shorter this year. Now, Valdosta's down a little bit, as we've seen, but still much better Shorter team than we've ever seen, much improved. They've got better size across the O-line, D-line. They've got better length in their secondary and their wide receivers. Quarterback, we saw him last year. Had a solid game against us, if not a good game. He's gotten better, getting more comfortable with the offense. Their running game has improved. So I think this is a more complete Shorter team than we've ever seen. I think, the stat that kind of sticks out to me, they're running a lot of plays on offense. And so, North Greenville does that. They play slow. They find ways to dink and dunk and get first downs. That's what Shorter's doing. And so we're going to have to be great on defense, get them off the field, and then on offense, we got to take first downs and keep moving the chains.
I think back to last year's game here in Pensacola, and it was a lot closer for a lot. The final score is a little misleading, 45-23. Shorter was in that game for a long period of time. The same was true at halftime back in 2019.
Correct.
It took the emergence of Austin Reed in the second half of that game. They'll play with you for a while. Is depth maybe their issue?
Well, it is, but at the same time, I think they got better depth than they've ever had. But yeah, you're exactly right. Last time we went to Rome, Georgia, it's 14-14 at halftime, and then we were able to score points. Last year, we kept them in the game a little bit. They ended up scoring late. I think they scored 14 points in the second half. But with that being said, this group playing with confidence. They've almost every game they've been in at halftime, giving themselves a chance. We tell our guys, if you allow a team to stay in it, they're going to find ways. This team is hungry. This team's really looking forward to, playing us. I think we're going to see a much better team in person than we've seen on film, and we're going to have to be up for the challenge.
Looking at their stats, and I have to always want to ask this because you've broken down the film, they're giving up a lot of rushing yards. Almost 240 a game, only giving up 145 yards in the past. Is that more about who they've played? Because they have played Mississippi College and some of the other teams that can skew the stats a little bit.
Yeah, West Al, I think, had 4 runs of over 60 yards. Okay, so, West Al, I think, ran for 300 yards against them, but I think I think 200 of that or 180 of that came on 3-4 runs. They played Mississippi College. Mississippi College ran their quarterback. I think Mississippi College quarterback ran for 200 plus, maybe even close to 300, something like that. So yes, I do think that is. I think stopping the run really is actually one of their strengths when you break them down and you see what they do.
Mississippi College is that close to playing in leather helmets because they don't throw the ball. They just line up and run it. Tough road trip. Again, it's not going to Southwest Baptist, but you were saying your guys have handled it exceptionally well. And it's tough. I just want everyone to know out there, the travel, the getting back late. These kids are taking classes. They're here and they're in and out of the facility. They got to watch film.
Right.
It's a lot. I want to let people know that though, because it's not as easy as you guys make it look.
Well, it's not. It really isn't. And the fact that you had to teach a class today, our guys have to go to class today. You're still tired. We got back at 2:30 in the morning Sunday from that West Georgia game. We've got to play now Shorter. It's an 11 o'clock kickoff. So, that's a short, week for us to, recover and get back. We're going to leave, Friday morning. So there's a lot that goes into it. Love how our guys handle it. We've handled the road well. We've got to be up for this challenge this weekend because, all those things playing in, we're going to play against a really good football team.
It is a brunch edition of UWF football coming up on Saturday. We'll be on the radio with ESPN Pensacola for you. You can catch that on the TuneIn app. 10:30, the pregame show will start in the morning. These guys will kick it off at 11. Good luck to you this week, Coach. And as always, goargos.com has all the latest news, notes, scheduling. Get your game notes there ahead of the game and check out everything else. It was a great weekend to be in Argo. Everybody wins. We like that. We don't mind that at all. Argo Armada app as well right there on your mobile device, your phone, or your tablet. And Coach and I will be back with you next week on the Coach Shinnick Show. Go Argos.